Good evening, everyone. My name is Vernisha Jones, and I'm the president of the West Garfield Park Youth Council. And we believe that we are the solution to the violence in our community. West Garfield Park Youth Council is a concerned group of young people working together on the west side of Chicago to reduce underage drinking, substance abuse, and senseless violence. Our goal is to engage, enlighten, and empower young people into being the best that they can be while working together to promote a safe and drug-free community. West Garfield Park Youth Council is sponsored by Fathers Who Care, which is a nonprofit organization located on the west side of Chicago within the West Garfield Park community. Again, everyone, my name is Vernisha Jones, and I am the president of the West Garfield Park Youth Council. The West Garfield Park Youth Council is comprised of 15 youth from our community whose focus and concern is youth leadership and voice within the community and addressing the issues of violence prevention. We invite people from all over to come and see what we're about. Our show can be scheduled every Thursday at 7 p.m. Again, that is every Thursday at 7 p.m. We would like to encourage calls from people watching to leave their questions and comments at 312-738-1060. Again, that number is 312-738-1060. Our show can also be viewed online at www.cantv.org/live. www.cantv.org/live. Well, everyone, I know you noticed this well-educated young man sitting aside of me. Instead of me introducing him, I'm going to allow him to introduce himself.
How are you doing, Ms. Jones?
I'm doing well.
My name is Chris Taliaferro, and I am the Alderman in the 29th Ward, which is the city's west side, the Austin community, as well as the northwest side on the city of Chicago.
Okay. Well, everyone, thank you, Alderman Chris Taliaferro, for being a guest on tonight's show. Again, my name is Vernisha Jones, and I am the president of the West Garfield Park Youth Council, and you are watching a live interactive call-in television show brought to you by CAN-TV 21. During the next 25 minutes, we are going to discuss the topic of what it takes to unite more people to work together to save our children and our communities, while reducing substance abuse, senseless violence, and bridging the intergenerational gaps. I invite our viewers watching to call in with questions and comments at 312-738-1060. Again, that is 312-738-1060. Our phone lines are open. So today's topic is about saving our youth and saving our community.
Okay.
What do you think about the topic so far?
Well, I think it's an excellent topic. Particularly, we live in a community on the west side of Chicago, the Austin community, which is Chicago's largest community. But we've experienced an increase in violence over the last few years. And sometimes we have to sit down and discuss what type of answers are out there to help reduce violence. So this is an excellent subject, and it's an excellent time for the subject. So first, thanks for having me, and I look forward to helping reduce crime in the Austin community as well as increase awareness.
Thank you very much. Okay, Alderman, I have a few questions for you.
Okay.
Who are you, and what is your purpose for existing?
Which is a very interesting question. Again, I'm Chris Taliaferro. I was born and raised in a very, very small town in the state of Virginia called Smithfield. I've been in Chicago for approximately 28 years now. And when I moved here, I fell in love with this great city. There's so much to offer. I raised my 3 children here, and one of my passions has always been, since I was a young child, is I've loved serving people. I remember as a small Boy Scout, just going through the neighborhoods, helping as many as I could. Right after that, I joined the military. After high school, I joined the military and spent approximately 10 years serving in the Marine Corps, helping our country and helping the residents of this great country. And after that, I became a Chicago police officer, where I spent 21 years serving the city of Chicago. So I think if I want to define, the reason for my existence,
to help people.
It is, and I believe it's to help people.
That's good. I didn't know you did that much.
Yeah.
So you like the weather in Chicago?
I was going to say yes, but the coldest it gets, the part of Virginia I'm from, is about 39 degrees. So
yeah,
I've had to adjust.
Yeah. Well, what is a ward alderman?
A ward alderman is an elected position within the city of Chicago. There are 50 elected aldermen, and we are essentially responsible for creating, amending laws, and which we call city ordinances. But also, I think one of our primary responsibilities is to for the well-being of our ward, and that includes service in the ward. It can include repaving streets, repaving alleys, residential streets, street lights, sidewalks, streets and sanitation issues. So a lot of what we do, a large majority of what we do is service, but a good portion of what we do is legislative as well, where we create laws to provide and help the well-being of the city.
Oh, that's good. Well, I forgot to tell everybody who I am. I'm Vernisha Jones, the president of the West Garfield Park Youth Council. I'm 19 years old. I attend Malcolm X College, and I'm a person trying to make a change with the young people in our community. And our next question is, can you tell our audience why are you so passionate in empowering people on the west side of Chicago?
I think, one of the things that really drove me to run for alderman in the 29th Ward, Venetia, I saw the lack of voice in City Hall. I saw a lack of voice from the west side of Chicago for a long time, and you could probably attest to this because you grew up, I believe, on the west side as well. A lot of what I saw, the resident didn't have a voice. They didn't have a representative that would impassion them and to bring their voice to City Council. And as a result of that, the west side of Chicago had gone years and years without economic development or resources being brought to the west side. So I decided to run so that, folks like you and I, because I once was 19 also, a long time ago, so folks that you and I could have a better chance in society and better opportunities with that.
Oh, that's good. What does it take to motivate more people to work together to rebuild and to promote a safe and drug-free community?
That's probably one of the most difficult things to do, and that's to reach out and bring folks together for common interest. You're familiar with the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yes.
That's the movement that was started because of injustice. And as a result of that injustice, whether it be injustice from the judicial system or from city government or state government or even from a U.S. government perspective, that movement rallied a lot of people of not only just the African American community, but across the country with different racial and ethnic backgrounds. But they all came together for a united cause. That's something that's not very difficult to do that's not very easy to do on a smaller scale. But I think to motivate, young men and young women from a community perspective, we have to define an interest that will motivate them as well. The Black Lives Matter movement motivated everyone from young to seniors. And when I say senior, not senior in high school, but senior citizens. Our older community. But I think if we were to stand behind an issue that affect those that are 19 years old, 20, 25, it would be easier to draw them. For example, jobs, lack of resources, educational opportunities. We can all rally behind that because it affects us all.
Well, everyone, we have an event coming up that can help young people and people get motivated to be around each other, which is our Thanksgiving dinner, November 9, 2016 at 5 p.m. at George Cleveland Elementary School, 512 South Laverne. If you need any information about it, you can call us at 773-287-5821. That's Father Sukir at 773-287-5821.
And this is a wonderful opportunity also. I attended this last year, and the school was filled with people.
It always be.
Yeah, and I know it when you have that community feel. You get very passionate about bringing people together. And like you said, this is a great event to bring people together. It's a season of Thanksgiving. We've already entered into that season, and so it's a time when we actually become thankful of the things that we have in our lives, and thankful about the graces that God has given us. So Once again, I'm very happy to be associated with Fathers Who Care, and this program. I shouldn't call it a program because it's a Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
And I'm not one to turn down a Thanksgiving dinner. So I look forward to it, Venetia. I really do.
Okay. We would like to encourage calls from people watching to call in with your questions and comments at 312-738-1060. Again, the number is 312-738-1060. Today we're discussing the topic of saving our young people's lives and saving our community.
Venetia, if you don't mind, 'cause I'd like to throw a question out. I mean, how do you feel that, as alderman, I can motivate the young community, those that are 18 and above, and even those younger than 18, to get them involved in not just politics, but community development? We have an election that's coming up November 8th. And one of the things that I've seen is a lack of passion behind what's going on in our country or on a state level as well. So how can I as alderman motivate? How do you think I as alderman can motivate young men and women? And I think I kind of flipped the script a little bit and became the interviewer. but how do you think I can motivate young adults to be more passionate about developing their community?
Okay, I'm going to think about that.
Okay.
Just call it and then I'm going to give your answer.
All right.
Hello, caller. How can I help you?
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, I want to ask a question to the Alderman Chris Taliaferro. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. My question to you is, I'm trying to figure out what can people such as yourself, aldermen and senators and whatnot, what can you all do to make a difference with our youth and in our schools? Because like right now, most of the schools, they're not offering like these after-school programs to keep the students off the streets and to empower the students and mentor them and whatnot. So what are you all doing to try to make a difference in the community, in the neighborhood, and in the neighborhood schools to make a difference with our students to keep them away from harm's way? And I'm going to hang up and listen to your answer.
Well, caller, first let me say thank you for that question. And it's a very important question because if we don't reach, our young adults, we will lose them. But it's an individual initiative that I think each alderman has to put some effort into as far as reaching out to the schools and finding out what we can do to help them. One of the things that we're doing in the 29th Ward is we're trying to partner with UIC to bring better programming to Michelle Clark. And what I mean by that is, a lot of our young men and young women, particularly in the high school, at the high school level, some tend to give up. And so we are trying to partner with UIC. We've sat down 3 different times and trying to partner with UIC and forward a program at Michelle Clark High School that would serve to provide better educational opportunities. For example, one of the things that I'm very interested in is trying to have GED training or high school equivalency training. Another one that is part of the program that we're trying to bring into Michelle Clark would be to tutor those in the 11th grade on SAT and ACT prep so that they can have successful scores or scores that will lead them to be successful applicants for college admission. But also on, it's on an elementary school level as well. We have to play an active role. Today I had an opportunity to sit down with our budget department and look at funding for after-school programming at many of our schools. And I'm happy to say that, we will be providing funding to at least 3 organizations that operate in a ward that provides opportunities for after-school programming. I think these programs are very important. I don't want to talk very long, but these programs are very important as far as educational development on an elementary school level as well.
Okay, well, they say we got like 5 callers, but I'm going to hurry up and answer your question before we go to it.
Okay.
A way that I think you can help, you said help motivate help motivate young people. I feel like if you was to get them, what was your exact question?
Well, what could I do as alderman to help motivate young men and women your age to be more involved in community development?
I feel like the first way was to be like bring youth together and have like some type of fun day where you getting them together to have fun, but at the same time you telling them like what's really going on and what's really like up and what needs to happen next to the next steps in life, basically. Just like Camille Lilly have the 17 event. She have like a big type of little party thing, but at the same time she's telling them all y'all need to go out and vote. When you turn this age, you got the right to vote. What voting means and how it's important for us to do. So I feel like we did something where it was something fun, but at the same time they're learning. I feel like that will motivate a lot of youth and get a lot of youth out.
I think that's an excellent opportunity to get young folks out as well. I thank you for that. And even as I look at this upcoming election, and I'm sorry for bringing it up again, but I look at a lack of enthusiasm about getting out to vote. And so we're having several events this upcoming weekend and next weekend just to encourage, young men and young women and adults to come out and exercise their right to vote, because it is a right that was fought very hard for. And there was a lot of bloodshed, but we won that right to be able to vote. And we certainly should not take that right very lightly.
Okay, I see we have some callers. We're going to take the callers. Hello, caller. How can I help you?
Hello.
Yes.
My question is, what opportunities are available for the youth in the Austin community?
Well, we have a lot of opportunities available, particularly, especially, when I look at over the summer months where there's a lot of time that our youth and our young men and young women have, because many of them are not in summer school or many of them out of school. The city has had a program that has been running for a little while, One Summer Chicago, that provided a wonderful opportunity for young men and young women. I believe it was 16 to 24, it might even been a little younger, to be employed over the summer and to gain an income. When I look at the purpose of that program, it really teaches discipline at an early age. One of the things that my office did in conjunction with that as well, we had a 29th Ward Summer Intern Program where I tried to place as many as possible of our young men and young women in jobs for the summer as well. And even hope with that many of them could get permanent placements with those jobs. But we're going to continue to run those. But educational opportunities are always there as well for those that want to continue their educational opportunities over the summer. So there's quite a few opportunities that are available.
And we also have the West Garfield Park Youth Council, where you can contact us at 773-287-5821. And I see we have another caller. Hello, caller.
Hello. Yeah, I want to know, what can young people do to prevent a safe and drug-free community?
You said, what can young people do to prevent
a safe and drug-free community?
Okay.
Well, I think we really want to, rather than prevent it, call in. Thanks for you, and I understand the context of your call as well. But I think we really want to try to encourage a safe and drug-free community. The best way we can do that is getting them involved in activities, whether it's at one social organization or another, is getting them involved in positive activity that will enrich their lives. Rather than just hanging loose and hanging out. Because most of the time that tends to lead to something bad. Not all the time, but in most cases, it tends to lead to something that's not very positive. And even the West Garfield Park Youth Council is one of those organizations that provides a positive and enriching atmosphere where they can go to, have a good time, enjoy their peers, but mostly, and most important, develop. So I think, organizations like that tend to promote a positive atmosphere where a person is less likely to be pressured into using drugs.
If you're just now tuning in, our guest tonight On the show is Alderman Chris Taliaferro, the Alderman of the 29th Ward, and we are discussing the topic of what it takes to unite more people to work together to save our children and our communities while reducing substance abuse, senseless violence, and bridging the intergenerational gaps. We have another caller. We can take that caller. Hello, caller.
Hello, my name is Keisha, and my question is, what is the state of the city of Chicago?
Keisha, that's a very good question, and thank you so much for that. I think it really goes to perspective. I've often said I try not to be as critical of our mayor, but unfortunately, I have been very critical at points because I see where our south side and our west side are not as developed as they should be, or the resources aren't flowing to these communities as they are in other communities. But we are also a blessed city as well. We have quite a few people in our city that promotes community growth, community welfare. And I certainly say that there's some areas in our city that we need growth, and that's building up and providing resources in in some of our south side and some of our west side communities. We have to do better at that. But we have a lot of great about this city as well. It's a very diverse city, although in many instances some have said that it's very segregated. But we have a very diverse city that provides a lot of opportunities as well. So if I were to say that, as an overall picture on what I believe the state of and welfare of the city, I say we are a growing city, and we are back to building ourselves into a better and a great city.
That's an excellent answer, Alderman. Can we take the next caller? And can you guys make your comments kind of quick? Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Okay, yes. To the Alderman, I heard you speak on how you're planning on doing something in Michelle Clark. Well, I work at a school directly across the street from Michelle Clark, and no, it's not a high school, it's an elementary school. What are you all going to do for the elementary schools? They need just as much mentoring and after-school programs to keep our students off the street so that they can make it into the high school. So I need you to tell me, what are you all doing as far as the elementary school?
And
I'll hang up and listen for your answer.
Thank you so much, Colleen. And I certainly agree with you. We have to, as I said a little earlier, we have to make sure we're providing opportunities for those that are in elementary school as well. And we have a number of programs in the 29th Ward that cater to our elementary schools. My goal this year, this upcoming year, is to make sure that we have tutoring programs within the ward for 7th graders. I specifically want to do 7th grade and 11th grade because those are times where the young men and young women are testing to get into a better the selected high schools as well as into better colleges. But that's one of the opportunities, and we do have very close to the school that you're mentioning, an after-school program that tutors, that provides hot meals, that also have recreational as part of their after-school programming. And they just moved into the old Michelle Clark building, which they purchased. But that provides opportunities for over 300 boys and girls that are of the elementary school age. So we have some great opportunities in the ward. If you can look that up, they're called Kids Express. And I know we're running out of time, and I will put a zipper on my lips.
And we would like to thank our viewers for watching and calling in. For additional information about our youth council or any questions that you have, you can contact us at 773-287-5821. And the information that's on the screen is for our 29th Ward Alderman. He has his office hours, his number, his location where you can contact him if you have any questions. And do you have any last words or remarks that you want to say to the audience?
Just very briefly, we do have a community night the first Wednesday of every month at the Columbus Park Refectory, and the third Wednesday of every month at Rutherford Share Park. Please come out and join us. Please be active in the community and be a part of the changes that we are going to have in our community. The first Wednesday of every month at Rutherford Share Park at 6:30. I'm sorry, at Columbus Park at 6:30. And the third Wednesday of every month at Rutherford Share. And Venetia, thank you for having me once again.
Thank you, and tune in next week, same time, same station, where the guests will be State Rep Camille Lilly and Janice from Loretta Hospital.